Good afternoon, everyone. Today, my topic is talk about the globalization marketing strategy of Coca-Cola. First of all, I want to talk about the globalization first. The globalization is talking about the different countries or regions from the global to perspective to decentralize and allocative the links function of other regions, and also in the value chain. The long term mainly it is for the gaining the most the advantages and the competitive advantage and achieving the maximum global efficiency. Rationally arrange limited resources, size the global alternatives, and make the global choices to be maximum. And the globalization is definited. Usually, we use uh, the, the unique regions that the regions get the advantages about our business, and we allocate some of the function to that location or regions. Then we would use the globalization to decentralize the countries or the area. Overall, the long-term benefits, in other words, it is the multinational companies' long-term survival and also the changing international operating environment. Actually, nowadays, most of the big companies would use globalization to maximum their business. And also, the positive impact of the economic globalization. We usually will talk about the international division. In order to improve the production efficiency, it is the first one, and the second one would be increase the opportunities for people to use international funds, markets, technology, or the product. It is the second one. The third one would be accelerate the economic development and modernization of the developing countries. And the fourth one, we usually use the creation and also the distribution of the wealth. And the last one would be the regional economy tends to integrate. For the other hand, would be the negative effects of the economic globalization. About the negative effects, usually the economic system of the some of the countries would be very independent, and also the second one, most of the global wealth would not be even distributed, because it must be some of the country is the developing country and some of the countries is a developed countries. And the third one, the country's ability to control the economy is declined. And the fourth one, people's livelihood in developing countries are affected. The for example, the farmers are exploited, and the basic rights of the workers or the interests of the workers, it is not guaranteed. For example, like Starbucks, some of the competitors will find that the Starbucks only pay too little to the workers that who help them farm the products, which it is an example about how the workers or farmers to treated unfairly. For another part about the Coca-Cola, mainly I want to talk about the history of the Coca-Cola first, because it is quite interesting about the history of Coca-Cola. And in the 1886 in USA, a pharmacist called John Pemberton. One day, he found that the coupled yeast and the bag in his backyard mixing with the carbonated water, sugar, and some of the raw materials in a three-legged pot. And then he found that it is the taste of it is quite good. And then the Coca-Cola with a unique taste, and it is born with Coca-Cola. Pemberton believed that this product may have some of the commercial value, and then he sent it to his friend, say Jack. And this Jake, it is not the point of the successful of the Coca-Cola. And the success of the Coca-Cola, it is begin with the Isa Kendra, who promotes some of the gives some of the promotion of the Coca-Cola. And then Isa Kendra is committed to be a smart entrepreneur with the marketing minds. In the 18th of 92, the Kendra, who has obtained the formula of the Coca-Cola, and then the ownership of the Coca-Cola, who buy it with $3,000 only. But he has not launched any promotion activities, but he gave a lot of gifts, and then to make the Coca-Cola to be popular in small days. The 2,300, I think it is a big number when the time is 1892. However, he used his promotion to make it to be hit and make it to be popular. And then the Coca-Cola brand has 120 years history. It is the largest manufacturer or distributor in the world. It is the five best selling of the Coca-Cola will be the Diet Coca-Cola, Sprite, Fanta, and also Coca-Cola. More than 100 products that the company has produced. Consumers in nearly 200 countries would can touch the Coca-Cola and enjoy more than 1 billion cups of Coca-Cola every day. Yeah, 1 billion cups. Today, Coca-Cola's annual advertising cost actually exceeds $200 million. It is a huge number, and then actually, the Coca-Cola success have. I think it will be the fourth angle to talk about. The first one, yes, I have talked before, it is advertising, and the second one will be sports, and the third one will be localization, and the fourth one, and last but not least, will be the diversification. About the advertising, as I mentioned, the huge number of the money that's put in the promotion. Also, Coca-Cola has produced the American Dream. What is American Dream? The Coca-Cola promotes this idea to the Asian countries who love American. It is a big success that Coca-Cola have their successful career in the Asian or Eastern country. And the second one will be sports. Coca-Cola has always regarded joy and vitality. It is a creative performance in the music or sports, and many of the products or many of the company wanted their image to be joy and vitality, but it is a very hard thing, such that your product is full of sugar or full of the unhealthy elements. Since one day, the Amsterdam Olympics in 1928, the Coca-Cola has provided the sponsorship, and it is absent for the is not absent for the next term. That means until now, the Coca-Cola is also the one of the biggest sponsor of the Olympics. It is a significant move of the Coca-Cola to have a big success in this action in the Olympics, and also it makes their image to be joy and vitality. At the same time, uh, many of the audience has stimulated the design to buy and increase the sales of the Coca-Cola. Advertising in Olympic TV broadcast or the outlet management rights, window opportunities, and the hidden marketing potential. It is uncountable. The numbers is uncountable, and also some of the banners of the Olympic sports, such as Olympics is held 4 of the years once. And I think it is a quite clever movement that's in the early years of Coca-Cola. What is localization? Localization, it is about the Coca-Cola have used the different cultural symbol in the different areas of the world, which makes it more popular. I will write an example about the localization, such that the slogan is "Can't beat that feeling," and then he changed it to be "I feel cola" in Japan, right? And then it changed the unique sensation, changed to be the feeling of life in chill. To put some of the important elements in the slogan, which makes the residents or the people in the different countries to accept this kind of slogan and make a big popular there. The advertising information always reflects the local culture and also the different support objects about the display channels and also the different pairs. And the last but not least, it is a diversification. We have always been enthusiastic about adapting the localized thinking, localized action strategy. Last year alone, Coca-Cola launched 15 new beverage varieties in 45 Asian countries. I think it is very important. Right, we move to the another point. Another point I would like to talk about is the Coca-Cola's marketing strategy. I would say it to be 4P. Which 4P? The first one would be the product, then the second one would be the price, and the third one would be the promotion, and the fourth one would be the place. About the first one, the product. Actually, in US 2001, the US Business Week selected Coca-Cola to be the most valuable brand in the world because the packaging strategy is very important, and the quality and also the safety or the brand image about the Coca-Cola has been very successful. And also the pack, the pet, and also the bottle packaging of the Coca-Cola. Many of the customer and also the consumer is certificate about it. Most of it, I think it is more, apart from the marketing, but not at all. It is a design about its product and also the whole brand image to be acceptable to the most of the customer and also the consumer. And the second one, this is about the price. As I said, most of the customer will accept the price of it because the price of it is not very expensive, but in the early days before, in the early years before, actually the Coca-Cola product is not acceptable for everyone, and also some of them would be say it is very expensive, and who drink it, it is representing your level in the society. And from the days move, from now it accept from the most of the public, and also I think it is the different price different price fixation. It is deciding the different price of the period of time. And the third one is the promotion. As I mentioned in the early of the presentation, the promotion from the Coca-Cola, it is very have the very strong power that make a success. When I was a kid, I recognized that there are TV promotion about the Rose Cup of the Coca-Cola have been a big hit, alright, which have invited many of the superstars in football, and it bring our big hits in that year. And the fourth one, it is the praise. Coca-Cola currently there are many ways that he provides their products, like shops, like restaurant, retailers, supermarkets, stores, even McDonald's or some of the fast food restaurant. Many of it has their products. All right. I think in the strength of the colors, it is the biggest or largest beverage company, and also the variety of the products, it is diverse. And last one will be the possess the 1% Coca-Cola receipt, which means by the 1% Coca-Cola receipt, there are nobody can copy it. Although you get 99% of it, it is similar to the Coca-Cola. You can't completely copy the Coca-Cola. The taste or the feeling of it, it is can't copy it. It is already nearly 100 years old, right? And move to the other things, the opportunities of Coca-Cola in the future. I think that the Coca-Cola has used the network to create a platform for marketing promotion. Like the TV and also the internet, it has made the consumers more independently can share their hobby to the others, strengthening their loyalty of the Coca-Cola. Alright, and the second, the alliance with the other committees like McDonald's or some of the fast food shop that the Coca-Cola has promised their sales in some of the ways, like some of the companies. Which makes its sales to be a huge for some of the restaurants that they has their cooperative relationship. And the last one would be the combination, and also the last chapter of this presentation, the combinations of globalization and localization, because when we using the globalization, some of the companies or some of the products have not do the well or right job. That will miss some of the undeveloped country. Would makes its culture mistake, the culture difference, or makes the difference between or the gulf between undeveloped country and the developing country or the developed country will be very huge. But Coca-Cola has mixed it very well. Like I said before, it have although it is a US product, it makes a big hit in the Eastern Asia countries, which is makes the culture or makes the taste and also the price of the different countries, different levels of the countries very well, which which makes Coca-Cola to be a success company. And but now some of the companies have already fixed their level to be high or low, and then it cannot successfully do the globalization in that global business. And I think this strategy of the cola has doing very well. That's all for my presentation. Thank you.